Who's ready for a new golden age of immortality? It's funny because of the talisman name, guys. Hello, my fellow hunters, and while my humor may not be timeless, this set certainly is, because it's time to talk immortal once more. The everlasting, unstoppable, anti-carting force that means no matter what you hunt, you never have to touch a single goddamn health potion. And with the new 9-star, 5-star tempered monsters, that's not changed one jot. Oh no! In the background, you are witnessing a 9-star, 5-star Gore Magala, the mightiest, healthiest, most damaging boy amongst the 9 stars, and, well, the entire hunt in around 15 minutes without needing to heal a single time. And yes, it's not exactly a scorching speed record, but it's not exactly slow either, considering 9-star, 5-star Gore has more health than fucking Godzilla. Seriously, he's actually competing with literally Iceborne Fatalis for total health. It's kind of outrageous. In any case, yeah, it feels very fun to just comfortably hunt your way through him without having to ever worry about being randomly one-shot out of nowhere, or even randomly 2-shot, or really even needing to think about the green juice whatsoever. And of course, the AFK test is no different, with Mr. Gore failing to kill me over many minutes, and that's always good to see. Though to his credit, like Seregios, who requires you to have bleed resistance in order to be AFK, you do suffer if you get inflicted with the frenzy, because it means you don't have red health damage, which means a large part of your recovery gets kind of disabled. Now, I still got full negative frenzy and still survived AFK for the first few minutes until it runs out, but once in his feeler mode, I did start having the odd little nullberry snack to stop that happening again, so hey, +1 to Gore. He can join Seregios in that camp of special monsters that needs you to just put in a little bit more to completely ignore. In any case then, the new Talisman system, how it is upgrading our classic immortal loadout, and well, it's actually upgrading it in a massive way. I'm really excited to show you, though I am also a little bit disappointed because I was really hoping that the talismans could somehow have set bonuses on, and then we could get Zoshia's recovery on Talisman, freeing up the entire armor set to do other wonderful things, but alas, not. I'm hopefully going to say yet, maybe, question mark? In any case, I do dearly miss Sunbreak, where getting Kushala's Blessing, the passive healing equivalent there, was much cheaper, simpler, and easier, with much less committal on your armor. In any case, then, what are we looking for? Well, there's actually 2 different paths and 2 different talismans that you can use in order to improve immortality. But before we get into that, a reminder that with this update, the maximum defense on armor has gone up. You can upgrade everything a couple more times, which is another load of defense, so make sure you do that. It's a nice little gain for us. I mean, it's a nice little gain for everyone, and certainly worth doing with how hard these monsters hit, but something to point out. Alright then, first up, we have this unchanged from Title Update 2 / Arch-Tempered Oof Duna, but don't worry, we will be changing it, but just to give us the baseline. The classic 4 pieces of Zoshia and the Suja Sash with its incredible +6 value to Immortal, and decorated up like so to give us both the defensive skills we need and that little bit of offensive juice. Full IG Counter-Strike and Maximum Might is very fun to see, as always, on a defensive set. And as always, if you are a weapon that doesn't really make use of maximum might, like you're running this on dual blades, well then of course replace the mighty decorations with a different skill of your choice. In any case then, this gets upgraded like so. We swap our 5 ranks of defense charm out for something like this. A Golden Age Rare 8 charm that has 4 ranks of defense, which is the most it can roll. Now, technically speaking, this could be 3 attack and lose the thunder attack, and it could also have an extra 1 slot for a, well, another 1 slot worth of skills, which would be nice to have too, but the bottom line is you can, with a talisman that rolls at least an extra 1 armor slot, the one that I've got defense socketed in, with defense boost 4, you can match that defense boost 5 of the regular talisman, while also gaining the kinda classic attack boost 4 for free, attack boost 3, and then attack 1 in the 1 slot to increase the damage output of the set. So while it's not a defensive increase, it is an offensive increase by being able to add attack 4 to what you're doing, while not dropping any of the defensive skills that we need. So that's quite nice to see. Something like this is another example. The Mind's Eye and Load Shells could be 3 ranks of a better offensive weapon skill, but then we've got 4 defense boost and 2 1 armor slots that we can make defense go up to 5 or even 6, and then save space elsewhere. So that's kinda what you're looking for. Defense boost 4, as many armor 1 slots as possible, and then 3 ranks of a good offensive skill that you can add to with the 1 slot offensive space that comes with the talisman. So this one is nice, but it's an offensive gain. It's not a defensive gain, and given that we're immortaling, well, a defensive gain feels kind of the better way to go, right? And thankfully, we can. You see, actually, the new best immortal talisman, if we're going to be technically immortally speaking, and of course we are, is the following. A rare 6 historical charm. So this can roll 2 ranks of an offensive skill, ergo the 2 attack boost. The slots can be anywhere from a 1 slot to 2 1 slots to a 2 and a 1 slot like I've got, and then you can get 2 separate defensive skill rolls. 2 ranks of most, so if that Divine Blessing was recovery up or recovery speed, it'd be 2 ranks, or 3 ranks of defense boost. So here, 3 ranks of defense boost and 2 ranks of Divine Blessing is quite tasty. So this is also going to be an offensive gain because we're gaining 2 attack ranks, which is a nice little plus to our raw, but we're also gaining a plus potentially 7 defensive skill slots. 5 from the defense boost 3 and the Divine Blessing 2, and then another 2 from the decoration space, which is 2 more than the defense boost 5 talisman, while also giving us some attack. But it goes beyond that, because what this lets us do is finally, and I do mean finally, replace the Suja Waste in an actual meaningful way that isn't kind of side-grady like the Arch-Tempered Duna mantle version we talked about last time. With the Legiacris Waste, which not only gives us an extra rank of weakness exploit, so more damage, but it has much higher raw defense than the Suja Waste, so we are even tankier. This is really exciting to see. So if I decorate this up, we end up looking like this. It does mean using a couple 2 slots for 1 slot decorations, which always hurts a little bit to see, but that is the price that most immortal builds have to pay. But in any case, we keep that lovely core 4 of defense boost, divine blessing, recovery up, and recovery speed. We still have that bonus elemental absorption, which is a lot of elemental resistance. We still get that full counter-strike, max might, and agitator on the attack side of things, while gaining 2 ranks of attack, and that 1 lovely rank of weakness exploit, while taking our total base defense above 500, which is absolutely spectacular. So this is a really lovely switch up and increase it to the immortal. This talisman here is what you're after. 3 ranks of defense boost, and then 2 ranks of either divine blessing, recovery up, or recovery speed, and you'll be on your way. And because it's only a rare 6, you're much more likely to both get it and then get a roll worthwhile like this than fishing for a specific golden age. So this now is the true best new immortal set, and I'm really happy that the talismans have brought on an actual armor piece change for it. That That said, if you are a weapon that doesn't like maximum might, like bow, like dual blades, this set is slightly worse offensively because there's only 2 mighty decorations to swap for something else that is more useful, as opposed to the previous set where you can swap all 3. So the previous set also does a little bit more damage because of the attack 4 that you can fit in, whereas this with the attack 2 and the weakness exploit is, and I mean like less than 1% behind. So make that consideration when choosing which of the immortal sets is for you, but in terms of raw, hardest to kill you-ness, this is our new winner. And EFR-wise, if you're interested, this now comfortably crosses the 400 mark, ending at 418, at least for greatsword specifically here. Which, if you're further wondering, it's just under 15% less damage output than the best meta set that I've already gone over, again at least for greatsword, which obviously is quite interesting. Because when you think of it like I'm giving up 15% of my damage in exchange for literally never being able to die, never having to stop attacking, or ever use healing items, that's actually really good, and it's one of the closest damage gaps from Immortal versus, normal that we've actually had. So I'm very excited to see how this continues being pushed as more and better gear gets added. Lastly then, just to go over weapons, for your main weapon, use whichever of the 14 weapons you prefer, and put in the decorations that you need for that weapon. There's nothing specific you need to do. This set, as always, applies to all 14 weapons. Your secondary weapon, however, should be the Queen Cordmaker, the Rathian Hunting Horn, and have your Sonorous in there. The reason for this is it's part of our immortalness in a big way, and part of our pre-hunt prep, which, for a refresher, looks a little something like this. You're approaching your monster, in this case the training dummy. You want to make sure you've got a mega armor skin on and ready to go. You then want to use your adamant seed for even more defense, and lastly use your hard shell powder for, you guessed it, even more defense. Then get your immunizer ready. And by the way, 593 defense? And of course, make sure that you eat the Kunafa Feast to get yourself Defender alongside the most amount of attack and defense, and element resist, etc. Then you want to get your Hunting Horn and play the Recovery Song, which is your green, your red, and then your purple. You can play it on your secret before you engage the monster. That's all well and good. And then you want to go back to your actual weapon of choice, and finally drink your immunizer. What this has done is given you essentially like around times 60 red health recovery speed, which is why when I get hit, watch the red health because it won't be there for long. Yeah, instantly zips up and starts your Zoshia recovery going, and essentially translates to 50% damage reduction for 3 minutes, which is really good. And there we have it, everybody. That is how the Talisman 9-star monster endgame update has affected Immortality in a really healthy, big way, and I'm very pleased. Good luck finding your immortal talismans, and indeed, good luck being immortal against our new, most dangerous, powerful foes. For now then, let me know how you're getting on in Wilds. Happy hunting. Like you've enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more. Consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below. And until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.